It's added insult to injury. Two Borderland families who say they've been scammed while dealing with the loss of their loved ones. These families tell us they paid thousands of dollars for customized headstones for a loved one, but the headstones never materialized. KFOX14 investigative reporter Jillian Fertig shows us what she uncovered about the company's owner and his practices.
The owner of Empire Monuments is Val Blazer. Customers say he goes by Val and approaches families at the cemetery after they buried a loved one.
I lost my father 2 years ago, and it's been really hard since then.
Lorena Rodriguez says she and her family buried their father at Mount Carmel Cemetery in 2014, but they didn't have the money for a headstone right away.
I really wanted something, for him, different, out of the ordinary.
One day when they were visiting her father's gravesite, they met a man named Val Blazer. She says he gave her a good price. So she signed this contract in March of 2015 and made the down payment. Rodriguez says she then paid off the balance this past March for a total of almost $2,000. But
we stand a year and 6 months later, still here with nothing. The runaround, it's the same thing. Every time I call, it's a work order in progress. It's a work order in progress.
Rodriguez says she was told the monument was started after the down payment, but she hasn't been given a status update or a time frame. Only this letter saying her final payment was received and her monument is in order in process. So she went to Empire Monuments on Montana in person to get some answers.
Well, we read your contract, you have something, you have a balance due, and my niece was like, you're telling this a year and 6 months later that we still have a balance? And she goes, either you pay us or we're not gonna start the monument. And we're like, okay, so either is it started or not?
Rodriguez says she refuses to pay any additional money until she sees proof that work has been started. It's a similar story for the Esquivel family.
He asked us for a down payment, asked us how did we want it, what was the spelling, how much were the words going to be.
Elizabeth Esquivel and her family signed a contract with Blazer in February. It was for her father-in-law who died in 2013. They made a $500 down payment and paid off the remaining balance in July, totaling almost $2,000.
This is the artwork that was supposed to be.
We tried calling him several times. He wouldn't answer. And then finally he got in a hold of my husband, and he told him that he was going to put in the paperwork, that they'll do it when his contract was up. My husband would call him to find out what was going on. We even went to the cemetery to see if he had already put it on, and nothing.
The Esquivels say after some research, they made some concerning discoveries. Discoveries KFOX14 Investigates also made. Multiple complaints about Blazer have been filed with the Better Business Bureau dating back to 2014. In those claims, people said they never received headstones they paid for. Court records show Blazer is facing criminal charges for deceptive trade practices and is due in court next month. There are also prior charges for deceptive trade practices cases from previous years that were dismissed. The county attorney's office says it has received multiple complaints about Blazer and his company. There are also multiple lawsuits dating back several years. KFOX14 Investigates went to Empire Monuments to try to get some answers. When I called Blazer, he agreed to talk with us. But when we got there... Hi, are you Val?
What's up right now? No cameras and no phones. You can sit in the car. Come on in.
Do what?
You can sit in the car. No cameras and no phones.
He wouldn't let our photographer or our equipment inside. I told Blazer that wasn't an option. Val? What about the Esquivel family? Val, this is your chance to explain the process. Val, this story is going to air whether you talk to me or not. This is your chance. Blazer refused to come back outside and answer any questions, but he called me later. He said the people I was asking about still owed him money, and that's why their monuments haven't been made. Receipts show all money has been paid according to the contracts in both cases. But there is a line in the contract that states making the headstone could take up to 36 months. When I tried asking Blazer about the criminal charges against him, he said he was done talking with me.
And I'm sure he's probably taken advantage of other people, and so we want to speak up. We want to speak up to the community because it's not fair.
We come here to a plaque a simple green plaque from the cemetery, from the funeral home places. But other people have passed, years later, a year later, months later after my father, and they already have their headstone.
Since I've started working on this story, several other people have reached out to me saying they experienced the same problem with the company. Blazer is due back in court November 14th. Jillian Fertig, KFOX 14 Investigates.